starts. There's Steph Theodore, I can just see there. Let's get a word. Dan, have you got time for a quick word? How are you doing, sir? If memory serves, are you carrying the 5 plate this year?
6.
6 plate, sorry, so 6th in the championship last year. 2024, what's your outlook for it?
Well, try and win, I suppose. Like, obviously some tough drivers on the grid, but yeah, I'll give it my best shot, yeah. Try and win it.
And how's the start of the season gone for you? Was Butmore good?
It was all right. I was struggling a bit with the new tarmac they put down. I think I didn't do the practice the day before, so I was struggling to get used to it. But yeah, I still came 6th, so not all right points considering I wasn't that confident with it. So yeah, it was all right.
And we're asking everyone, of course, GYG, how's it been for you as a track in the past? Has it served you well?
Well, I've only been here once, and it was when we was here for the seniors a few years ago, so not got much experience, so I'll just see what I can do today, I suppose. Just try and get some points, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely. You have a good day's racing, and take care out there and have fun.
Cheers, see you later.
Alright John, well they finally got me. Yeah, for live boys caught up with me for an interview there before the round. But yeah, it was nice to talk to them, and it was a long time coming, to be fair. But we are at GLAN in Wales for round 3 of Club 100, which is technically round 2 because we missed round 2 officially, which is going to be later in the year, Wilton Mill with its new last corner. But for this first heat, we're starting P12 behind Greg Smith, and we are now away. The guys on the inside there got a little bit of a slow start, so we're going to gain 1. Then we're going to get wedged between these two and almost go airborne there. But we did manage to gain another one, so 10th place now. Up behind Russell Cooper coming into the uphill hairpin. We're going to try and slip through there, but not quite enough room for us, and he holds it around the outside. And me being bogged down actually caused me to lose another one, so down to be 11th again. But we are now away from the start, and we'll try and pick a few more off. But yeah, I do normally struggle around GYG, as I'm going to try and slip down the inside of this driver with the white helmet here. And he holds it, but then gets squeezed by Russell, who didn't know he was there, so I managed to hold it around the outside, and we're up into P10 again. But yeah, this was only my second time at GYG, as I said in the interview, and I didn't do very well here first time, so I was aware that I was probably going to be on the back foot for this round, but I'll do the best I can as always. Now behind Russell, I slightly outbrake myself there trying to avoid him, and I'm just realising that I've got to get a move on there because I'm only in 10th, and obviously these heats are quite short. I get a good run off that double left there and nip down the inside into the right hander and get through. So into 9th, and then the guys ahead are squabbling a little bit, so I've closed in on Greg Smith in the braking zone quite a lot there. And I always find that in the braking zone, if there's people together, then it's so much easier to close up on them because they're trying not to hit each other. But we've got a decent run on Greg coming out of the last corner, as he gives me the little push signal there going up the hill, but we're going to completely ignore that and go down the inside into the hairpin. I've got enough time to be messing about in this one. So straight onto the back of Sam Pike, and we're in P8 now, and we've caught him rather quickly, so we're going to be looking for a move here. But he's got a run on Jeremy Deeks and tries to nip down the inside for this corner, but he's now got the outside for the next one, so we're going to throw it down the inside. Do make a little bit of contact, but it's not too bad. We did clip the cone on the way through there, so we're going to get a warning for that. But we do get up to P7, so we are starting to move along now. We're in the slipstream of Jeremy Deeks now coming up the hill, and we're gaining on him a little bit, and we're just about within range, and we are going to go for a massive send and just about get it stopped into the hairpin into P6. No messing about, trying to get through the field as quick as I can. But now it did take me a bit of a while to get through those 6 drivers, so there's a bit of a gap now to the top 5. But to be fair, 6th from the back when I'm not that great around here. It's not too bad, I suppose. As I said, this is my back race. But as you see, coming across the line here, you can just about see in the top left that I've got a penalty. And that was for cones, for hitting the cones. And I think you get to hit them twice. It's your second one that you get a penalty for. But I only saw that I hit one in there, but I must have hit another one somewhere. Either way, you only get 1 place deduction, and the guy in front of me had a 4 place penalty, so I actually didn't lose anything anyway, so it didn't make a difference. P6 in the end for Heat 1. And Heat 2, we are starting on pole, as you can see, nobody in front of us. So, looking to get maximum points here, although I was aware that Owen Genman was in this race, one of the Titan motorsport drivers, and they're always quick, so I was aware of that, but we are away now, and straight into the defensive mode as you do on the first lap from the lead. And we're going to go tight at the top of the hill. No one's coming through there, so good getaway, not lost any positions, and now I'll try and sell into rhythm and pull away. We skip later on in the race, a few laps down the line, and the inevitable does happen. Owen Genman's caught us, but you can't really see from this angle, but I go very wide, and I think I was pretty helped by Owen there. Did make a bit of contact with me, and I wasn't best pleased at the time, but he didn't get any penalties for it, and it was pretty inevitable he was going to come through at some point anyway, because he had a bit of a pace advantage, so not too much bother about that one. So we're just going to try and stick with him now and go ahead of the rest of the field if we can. It's a nice little S section at the end of the lap there at GYG, and the first corner is quite cool as well. We're skipping along now onto the final lap. Owen's got away a little bit, but not too much. He's still within sight. And now we're having to go defensive. You can't see, but Justin Draper's right behind me, and don't want to be letting him through. He actually had a really good day on this day, Justin. He was quicker than me around here, that's for sure, so fair play to him, but we are going to try and hold him off in this particular race. And there's not many more opportunities for him to pass around the track now, only pretty much this corner coming up. So if we can get through this one, which we have, and go slightly defensive, and he hasn't gone through, so we pretty much know we're going to hold second place now, unless I make a massive mistake through here, which I don't. We are going to finish second in Heat 2, so not too bad. 8 out of 10 I give that one, considering I was a little bit off. Not too bad. So into Heat 3, starting behind Sam Lovelace here in P9, and I'm going to try and move forward with him. I did say to him before the race as a bit of a laugh, oh yeah, we'll be top 3 by the top of the hill, and we've had a very good start on the inside there, and people getting a bit bogged down, so we're going to give Sam a bit of a push up the hill. And as I say, we've got the inside of this big pack, so we should be able to get through on Tommy Lee on the left hand side there, and we have got through. And what I said before the race has pretty much come through, because Sam's third and I'm fourth, so that was a good omen, clearly. Good start to the race there, 5 places gained on the first sector. Now we're just going to try and follow Sam to the front of the field if we can. Sam's going to duck underneath there and get into second. Mortaza Hassan in front of us, and we're going to try and get the move on him. But as I mentioned earlier, difficult place to overtake around this track. It's pretty much only turn 3 at the top of the hill, which we're coming up to now. Right behind him, I'm going to look for the move, but he's hogging the inside line there, and again moving over, and I wasn't totally confident where he was going to put his kart, so I didn't risk it, as Sam has now got the inside and is into the lead. So we are starting to think now, let's get a move on, but Mortaza's not making any mistakes so far, so as I mentioned, this corner here and the top of the hill at turn 3 is pretty much the only valid overtaking places on the whole track, so it's quite difficult to pass around here. Makes for the racing to get a little bit aggressive at times, but we are in position again to have a go at Mortaza, and we're going to go down the inside, and he hasn't quite seen us there and gives us a little bit of grass, but no problem. We'll slot straight back in, and he goes half defensive again, but I'm not messing around this time. I'm going to throw it down the inside and take third place, and we'll go for a replay now.
Out of the way in the opening stages of this 9th heat, 3rd heat for her, of course, and fighting with Dan Seeger as they start to put the pressure on. Oh, a little bit of mowing of the grass there as he looks at Mortaza Hassan for 3rd place. Percock's there in 5th, and William Henn and Tommy Leach a little bit further behind. And Seeger very aggressive there. He saw half a chance there, certainly went for it.
Yeah, the commentators from Alpha Live seem to enjoy that one. It's a hard but fair move, I think, and we are P3 now. As I mentioned, Sam is in the lead, and we've got another Sam in Sam Pike in 2nd, so we're going to try and catch up if we can. But we have got Rihanna Percox behind us, who is a decent driver, and we will try and move through the field with her, but I think she's got a little bit more pace than me in this one, so we'll see what happens there. And she is going to overtake me into P3 at turn 3, so we've lost a place there, and sort of acknowledged that she was a bit faster in this one and worked with her, but skipping further forward, she's got into 2nd, and we've caught back up to Sam Pike. Sam Lovelace has absolutely disappeared in the distance, but now we're looking for a move on Sam Pike, lining him up, and once again thinking about the top of the hill and the slipstream, and he's looking behind, he knows we're there, give him a bit of a push, but he doesn't seem to be going too defensive, so break late, look for the move, dart down the inside and into 3rd place. However, we're going to take a replay of this because I actually got penalised for this move, and it was because for overtaking on a yellow flag. You can just see in the distance there is a yellow flag being waved, but as soon as Sam sort of covers the shot there, it actually disappears. The yellow flag was put down there, so as you can just see, as I passed the incident, there was no yellow flag. I didn't know about it at the time, and it was obviously a slightly incorrect call, and I'm currently in conversation with Club 100 about the incident, but we can't get penalties removed after events, so yeah, I'm actually going to get an unfortunate penalty for that one and come 7th, which is a shame, but in the moment it is easy to make mistakes, and unfortunately it didn't work out for us in that particular time, which means we're going to start 13th for the A final instead of 6th, where we could have been without the penalty, but can't gloss on it too long, got to get on with it. So we're going to move up from 13th place straight into 12th off the start here in the A final, just behind Lewis Marchand going up the hill. And we know this race is going to be crazy because it's hard to overtake, and there's 26 very fast drivers wanting to win it. So there's a little bit of contact going into turn 3. Chris Powell loses out a little bit there, clips the cone on the way through. There's grass flying everywhere. Lewis Marchand going around the outside. Somebody smoking into the next corner. I'm trying to slip through on Lewis Marchand, but I've now got the outside for the next corner, which means he keeps the position, and I've got Harrison Kirkham now in prime position to overtake me. And I tried to hold it, but I realised it was never going to happen, so back down to 13th where I started. But I've got Harrison now, who I know is going to want to come through the field with me, so I can work with him, and we are going to try and push him through the field here. And we're right behind him in the slipstream. As you can see here, he absolutely starts to get away from me there in a straight line, so I think the kart in this one's not too great top end wise, but can't really complain because the new batch of karts is really good overall. So we just got to get on with it in this one and make the best of the situation. And Harrison trying to get through on Lewis Marchand, but as I say, there's nowhere really to go around here. It's really hard to make a move, and he looks down the inside there, but there's no room, and there's just squabbling throughout the field really. Everyone's just in a train, which really would have helped if I was starting a bit further up, which I should have done without that penalty. But as I mentioned, can't rest on our laurels. We just got to get on with it. Sometimes these things happen, and we are going to be in a little bit of a train for this one, which does make for entertaining viewing from the outside, but obviously I want to be a bit further up the field than this, and I'm struggling with the power I've got in this car. And now coming out of that corner, Jack O'Neill is going to slip through. He had a little bit of a stinker in one of the heats, so he's a lot further down than he would normally be, but now I can at least try and stick with him. But he makes a much better go at that section than I do, and I've just dropped behind him, so that's not exactly going to plan. But we know that it's difficult to pass around here, which means there's probably going to be incidents as people start to get desperate later in the race, as Harrison absolutely flings one down the inside there and can't quite hold it, and Jack O'Neill slips through and also gets Lewis Marchand, and then Harrison sticks his nose in again and forces Lewis wide a little bit, and I'm going to slip through with him, and I acknowledge that I'm on the outside there and let Harrison slot back in. So we did gain the position out of all of that, so that's happy days. And now Jack O'Neill's 2 in front of us, so hopefully he carves the way for us a little bit as we skip a little bit later on. The train is still very large up front, and there's a bit of tyre smoke, and Jack O'Neill's chucked one down the inside of Chris Power, and I'll try and get the cut back on Harrison, but there was a curb and a cart in the way, so lost a little bit of momentum there, but no real harm done. So Harrison's going a bit of grass tracking there. I'm not sure he's going to find a move there, but he is still just in front of us, and we're still all in the same positions as before. I think this is all for about P5. I think that's Justin Draper at the front of the field, or front of the train rather. So this is all for about 5th place, this train, so it's all kicking off, but no one can make too many inroads. And now Chris Powell's going defensive from Harrison, but Harrison's going to try and slip down the inside again, and a little bit sideways on the brakes, can't get it done. Chris holds it over the curb, and we had a little bit of a run on Harrison, but I don't think it was enough of an overlap for a move, so we just gave him a bit of a push instead. And still a bit of a stalemate here. See if anyone can try and make any moves into the last section. Chris going a little bit defensive, and I think that is actually White is going to get passed by Jack O'Neill there. Good move into the last corner, and he's a bit bogged down, so Chris is going to go through, and Harrison's going to nudge him a little bit, which is going to lose him momentum, and that means I can slip through on the exit of turn 1, so another position gain there. Only P12 though, and this final's been going on for a while now, so these are the kind of positions where people are going to start getting a bit desperate, and Harrison's tried to get a cut back on Chris Power there, but he can't quite do it, and there's a few position changes going off just in front of this pack. I think Dante Dillon's involved, and Jack O'Neill's been squeezed out, and Chris Power's gone down the inside of him but got a cut back on him and straight back in front. So after all of that, everyone's still in the same positions, and that is how the racing goes around GYG normally. And we are still in P12, but moving on slightly. I think Jack O'Neill's passed Steph, who's a couple in front of us right now, and now he's lining up a move on Dante Dillon, but you can just see in the distance there was contact, and that was a bit of a cheeky move, but he got away with it. And now Dante's on the back foot. Chris tries to go down the inside, catches to the back of him, and Harrison gets caught up, and I've got a triple cutback on the exit of turn 1. So after a pretty dull race with not many position changes, I've got 3 in one corner there, and it was right at the end of the race as well, so perfect timing for us really, up into P9. And I'll absolutely take that with how the the race has gone so far. So now we've got Steph in front of us, a little bit of a gap to him. But we're going to try and catch him if we can. And Harrison is now right behind us, and we're going to have to go defensive from him. Obviously you can't see that, but he is there, I assure you. Going into the last corner now, and that is the end of the race. And I remember at the time I didn't realise that was the last lap of the race, so it was a good job I went defensive from Harrison, really. But we did get P9 after all of that, and probably could have been a little bit better result, but the pace wasn't really there, and 9th was probably fair in the end. But I'm still 4th in the championship after all of that. I think it's because a lot of people are having up and down rounds at the minute. It's quite open in the lightweight sprint, which is good for the entertainment side of things, but also it keeps me in with a shout. Even though the first 2 rounds haven't been too great for me, I'm still there or thereabouts, so that's a positive sign. And come out of GYG still with the top 10, even though it didn't go to plan really, so we'll take it. And next round is going to be Alla Park, which I've had mixed success at. A couple of years ago I had very good results there, but last year there was some weird things going off with the tarmac there, so I wasn't too good. But hopefully it's back to normal next time, and I will see you again for that. So thank you, goodbye.